the jury in the Oculus ZeniMax lawsuit having rendered its verdict and Oculus ordered to pay $500 million, needless to say, Oculus exec and ex-ZeniMax employee John Carmack is pissed. I mean, I would be too if I personally had to pay $50 million to my ex-employer, but Carmack believes a particular expert was imprudent during the trial. I'm Lucy and welcome to your Objection! GameSpot news update. He wrote on Facebook, "The ZeniMax vs Oculus trial is over. I disagreed with their characterization, misdirection, and selective omissions. I never tried to hide or wipe any evidence, and all of my data is accounted for, contrary to some stories being spread. Being sued sucks. For the most part, the process went as I expected." Carmack took issue with one particular element, which was the testimony of an expert that ZeniMax brought to the trial. Specifically, Carmack objected to the expert that said Oculus's implementations of the techniques at issue were non-literally copied from the source code I wrote while it id software. Carmack claims this is just not true. The authors at Oculus never had access to the id C++ VR code, only a tiny bit of plain text shader code from the demo. Early on in his testimony, I wanted to stand up, say, "Sir, as a man of computer science, I challenge you to defend the efficacy of your methodology with data, including false positive and negative rates." After he had said he was absolutely certain there was non-literal copying in several cases, I just wanted to shout, "You lie!" By the end, after 7 cases of absolutely certain, I was wondering if gangsters had kidnapped his grandchildren and were holding them for ransom. Carmack goes on to suggest the testimony would not have stood out if the expert's phrasing had been different. He also describes the expert presenting slides that couldn't be properly read. When the defense later enlarged them for the jury to better see them, it didn't demolish the credibility of the testimony as Carmack had hoped. He said, "Notably, I wasn't allowed to read the full expert report, only listen to him in trial, and even his expert testimony in trial is under seal rather than in the public record. This is surely intentional. If the code examples were released publicly, the internet would have viciously mocked the analysis. I still have a level of morbid curiosity about the several hundred-page report." ZeniMax has now responded to Carmack's post, reiterating certain findings from the case. In addition to expert testimony finding both literal and non-literal copying, Oculus programmers themselves admitted using ZeniMax's copyrighted code, one saying he cut and pasted it into the Oculus SDK. And Brenton Irby, in writing, requested a license for the source code shared by Carmack that he needed for the Oculus Rift. Not surprisingly, the jury found ZeniMax code copyrights were infringed. The Oculus Rift was built on a foundation of ZeniMax technology. As for the denial of wiping, the court's independent expert found 92% of Carmack's hard drive was wiped. All data was permanently destroyed right after Carmack got notice of the lawsuit, and that his affidavit denying the wiping was false. Those are the hard facts. Ouch. Whose side are you on? Let me know in the comments below. For more on the ZeniMax Oculus lawsuit, make sure to like this video and subscribe to GameSpot on YouTube.